on an island basically here against this guy. He's not too wide, but the ability to
Now
expand
this set here, I was
that initial step.
yeah, this stance obviously is like, oh, what is that? Obviously a O-line coach is like he'll rip your ass if you lose a rep with this stance. But I was actually practicing it because I was watching Joe Thomas and how he goes low hands with like a lot of his sets in his career.
Oh yeah.
And my thing is that it keeps the pace of the set to where like it slows the pace of the set down for me. So like obviously some dudes they'll go pretty like traditional and they'll just kind of kick, stay on their insteps and stuff like that, very short start, choppy steps.
Hmm.
But with guys like this, I feel like me personally, I feel like it made it easier to just kind of like, low hands and kind of slide my hips back one kick at a time and just kind of wait on him. He didn't too. He's a great player. I just didn't. He didn't seem like he had. And this no, not he's a great player. He didn't seem like he had any like devastating power, like bull rush power. So I was okay with this whole kind of game, just kind of like letting him into my chest like this, because obviously right here, this is like I think I'm like 312, 311 right here when I'm playing. So I kind of I felt confident in going low hands this whole game in the past.
Yeah. No, I mean, and low hands, I feel like, I mean, obviously, I think Lane Johnson in the NFL is a, double under low hand kind of guy, and he does it at a level that's pretty freaky. But other guys work that in, and it allows you to create lift, though, right?
Absolutely.
To dissipate that power. So
Yeah, once they go into you, it's like kind of you just all you have to do is kind of
you're
thrust your hips in there, and it's force just you like gets lighter from
yeah, and
how it
you're
works.
punching up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you don't really necessarily want to punch out as much as up. So
What would you say in this stance would be a flaw? Let's say at the next level. Like what's something that obviously this is the next level is a different freak. Like let's say
yeah. I don't know if it's so much the stance. I just feel like the first step, if you could gain a little bit more ground,
yeah
that would be my first thing because it looks like you just replace that outside
yeah
foot.
it just put it up, put it back down. Yeah
Yeah, and just thinking back to watching Joe, in this sort of stance, typically, I would say most often that outside foot is driving back at least, if not a yard, of a full yard.
yeah.
So I think that little detail would be the difference in somebody accessing your edge and not in the NFL, especially if he's a little bit wider or something.
It turns my
um
hip a little. I see too, and that's something that I know. Like right here, like I'm not
yeah,
like I'm open to the line, but I'm still turned upon like my first kick, which I think is
that's
obviously
another.
like if that's Micah, then that's that's kind of it's game
Right.
over.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what I would say. I like the stance actually, and Trent does this too. Where his hands are together and
Mhm.
he's pulling that outside hand back too as a point of emphasis. Like I've heard it, like you're starting a lawnmower, like
Yeah, throw yourself back a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, like ripping that hand out of the stance to create some momentum for yourself, and you're kind of doing that there. But I guess just the only thing I'd really critique is just that initial step. So.